Hey everyone, Joe Cosentino. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Cosentino. Today we have a very special guest, a great friend of mine, Dr. James Marotta. Welcome to the show. He owns Marotta Plastic Surgery in Smithtown, Long Island.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks. Welcome, Jim.
Shake, what?
Thanks, brother.
I've known
Thank
this
you.
guy for 40 years. 40 years,
Long
12
time.
years, since I'm 12 years old.
Yeah, long time.
Don't do the math there. I'm a little old. Yeah.
We don't want to tell the audience
Let
how
me
old
cover
we
up
are,
the middle age
especially
section.
with a world-renowned plastic surgeon here.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about your background, Jim, your family, where you grew up, how you got to, we went to high school, we went to college, and how you got to your career.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was born in Portchester, New York. Yeah. Actually, I was born in Greenwich, which is the bordering town. And he knows all this stuff, so I'm not really telling him. I'm telling
Tell
you
the
guys.
audience,
It's just a town of Westchester, right on the border with Connecticut. And I grew up normal middle class kid. Joe came to my grade school. I think we were in sixth grade, right? Probably right around 12 years old when we first met, right?
Yeah.
Grew up there. Great town. Great, upbringing.
Yeah. Great childhood. Great memories.
Yeah, great memories. He and I went to Iona prep high school together, Catholic high school, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I stayed a little longer. He bailed out quicker, We won't go into that, but, and then I went back to Portchester High, graduated from there.
Which was another great place to grow up and meet friends, in
fantastic.
high school.
Yeah, we still have very long-standing friends from
Yes.
Port. A great, just a great town.
Especially moving from the Bronx as a kid to Portchester, it's like upstate.
Yeah.
And, you guys used to
We
all make
always
fun of
crack
my
up.
accent.
Right, of
and
course
say
we
that,
did.
look, who's this Bronx kid?
Right.
But we fit, we gelled together
And
nicely.
what you don't realize when you're from New York is that we all have an accent.
Right.
When I go to college, like guys used to make fun of me. My
Right.
the way I said water and everything. Like we all have it.
Right.
It's just a different accent. The Bronx is a little stronger, I would
Right.
say, right?
And then where'd you go to college?
Oh, then after
After you
high school, I
graduated.
graduated from Portchester High, and then I went to Columbia College,
Yeah, you were
Columbia
always,
University.
Jimmy was always the smart one.
Yeah. I tried to be. I put on a good show. Let's put it that way. So, and then I went to Columbia College. I went there for 4 years. I was an economics and philosophy major there, and I didn't know that I wanted to be a doctor. I had no clue. I tried every career I could possibly had. I had about like 40 majors in my first semester. Called my mom I think I'm going to try computer science this week, and next week I'll try. I just couldn't figure it out. What my life's direction wanted to be. So. I thought I might want to be a lawyer or go into business, and so I did econ and philosophy.
I remember you always were saying you wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah. I tried that. I interviewed for the CIA, FBI, and then I was going to go into law, and I just. In college, I think it's a good time to try to find yourself, right? So that's I did a lot of finding of myself, right? So, but I eventually found myself. So I was lucky enough in my junior year of college to study abroad in Italy. Got in touch with my roots, met my Italian cousins, learned, I speak Italian fluently. I learned the language from living there for a long period of time. And I really got the travel bug then.
Right.
So after I graduated college, and I didn't really have a clear direction, I applied for these fellowship programs. And it was a way to, have something that was being paid it was sponsored by the American Congress and the German Congress, and it was paid by them. And so, and I had basically a paying job for a year. So I went to Germany, and then I learned the German there. I worked for a German company, a computer software company. And while I was there, I said, let me volunteer. I do something because I was a little, had some time on my hands. So I volunteered at a psychiatric hospital. And when I volunteered at the psychiatric hospital, I suddenly made a so like I had an aha moment.
Right.
I was there. I was with people who were kind of down on their luck. Their whole their families basically put them in Germany. It was like you were put out to pasture.
Put
I
away.
mean, in a very no, in a very nice way, probably more
Right.
humane than what we have. We let people roam the streets.
Yeah.
They basically would be sent off to these institutions, and I volunteered there. So I would spend time just playing chess with one of the patients, or and I felt this kind of all of a sudden like, okay, that's it. If I can be there for somebody in their worst time and care for them, and then I realized, all my life I had really been kind of a good student in all the different areas, but I was really good in science.
Right.
And I said, geez, I want to be a doctor, and I had never had, nobody in my family is a physician. I didn't have any background or
Yeah.
any idea that that's what I wanted to do, but it was my aha. I came back, and I was going to be a psychiatrist. That's actually what I was going to go into. And then I came back and I went back to school, back to Columbia, did my post-bac, which is like your pre-med training again after
Right.
you graduate.
And all this time, like, tell the audience, how hard is it to really be a medical student? I don't think people realize the work, the sacrifice. Like, we had a couple of lawyers on here, and to go to law school and sacrifice your life pretty much. Like, everybody's in college, wants a party,
Right.
have a great time, and live their life. Like,
Right.
that's the sacrifice. So
Yeah,
tell-
I mean,
how much of your personal life sacrifice
Right.
did you make?
I think it's a great, that's a great point. You have to really love it. You don't go into being a physician for the money. You don't go into it for the, I mean, maybe you go into for the prestige or whatever you want to make your parents proud or whatever the motivations are. But you have to have that underlying passion and curiosity for nature and for why things are the way they are.
Right.
That the number one driving force for me in making me successful in this career was I was always wanted to know why.
Right.
Why did the body function this way? Why did the brain function this way? Why is one structure above another structure in the body? And if you don't have that innate curiosity, it's not enough to drive you in those long hours you got to spend in the library while your friends are out, having a good time, and your sacrifice. And then the sacrifice continues when you become a doctor. So everybody thinks, oh, doctors haven't made. No, you go through medical school. First of all, you go into massive debt. The average debt for a medical student is $250,000, right? So you're buying a house, used to be a house. It's not a house anymore. No,
Maybe a co-op.
maybe it's right?
Yeah.
So, but now you go into that amount of debt, you go all through medical school, and then when you get out, you become a resident. And a resident is a physician who's in training in a particular field. Right. So you might be a resident in internal medicine. So if you're a general doctor, right? It takes 3 years to do that, but you get paid peanuts. The hospital system basically, is billing for you, but you're not getting paid a lot of money.
Right.
So now you got your bills, your bills you're paying, and all that debt you incurred, your residency training. By the time most doctors get out and start actually earning a salary, you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
And you might have a wife and kids then, and you might, and so you delay gratification. If you want to be a physician, you're going to have to be okay with delaying gratification for a long time. Because while your friends are out there making money, earning, putting money away, you're
buying
building
real
your
estate or
doing whatever. I have friends that I graduated with Columbia fraternity brothers. They went right to Wall Street, and if I was on that track, and if I had gone right to Wall Street, I wouldn't be working right now. A lot of these guys are retired. They're done.
Yeah.
They made tons of money early in life, and that's it. They're done.
Right.
But what you do, what you love.
Yeah.
You do what drives you.
I mean, I see clients come. I have doctor clients who, we have some great medical facilities here in the Bronx. We have Montefiore. You have Jacoby. I see doctors come from all over the world to work in these places, but they have no money.
Right.
Their credit is beat up, or they missed payments on their student loans, or they're really just living, barely getting by until, like you said, they get that that practice or specialty. Then they start making some money.
Yeah,
So.
you're later in life when that happens. You turn the corner eventually, and then I even was even more of a masochist. I went into private practice, and I hung a shingle. So now I had medical school debt. I had I went into basically being a small business owner.
Right.
I just started my practice from scratch. So, you gotta,
And buying real estate.
and buying real
But you were
estate.
smart enough to know you had to
That
buy.
I
You had
wanted.
to buy the building. So
That was my number one goal. From the
so
moment I said, I'm not going to pay,
rent.
why should I pay rent to some guy when I can pay rent to myself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was good. So there was the business side coming in
Yeah,
to
I
play
do.
a little bit. So
Yeah.
you have to be, medical student, but you do have to have run it like a business. I tell all the young, professionals out there, just because you're a doctor or a lawyer or a realtor, you need to treat it like a business.
Yeah.
It's your business.
It's something that's relatively new in the medical field, at least, and a lot of medical schools now are incorporating that into the training. But when I was in medical school, and certainly for many years, this is just
Yeah.
recently now, uh, there was no training.
No.
You would get out with, like I said, this, and not even training in becoming a small business owner, but
Right.
even financial responsibility. Realizing, okay, well, I've incurred this amount of debt. Let me save this amount of money and things
Right.
like that. Things you basically need to be, to stand on your own 2 feet. But
Sure.
that's becoming part more kind of known that it's a vacuum.
That's
So
good.
it's, yeah,
It's important.
Yeah.
So tell us about your occupation. How did you pick plastic surgeon? And you are a surgeon.
yeah,
So tell the audience or people out there, you see obviously social media, you see celebrities, you hear all this stuff about, plastic surgery, and some people, I know you work with a lot with children and people that really need it for medical reasons, not for looking good or
right,
staying young.
yeah,
So there's a fine line there also,
right,
right? As you know.
yeah, yeah. There's a weird kind of, if we were sitting here when, I don't know, we go back 40 years and we're sitting here at your house.
Yeah,
And,
we'd be laughing.
yeah, I'd be telling you there's no way that I'm
Right.
going to end up in this chair as a plastic surgeon. I never, ever thought of the career, but it's kind of again how life takes you in these different routes. When I was a resident, when I was a medical student, I was exposed to different fields, and I was exposed to, again, same thing. I went through all of them and said, oh, what's the pros and cons of going into this field, that field, etc. And I got down to a few. So it was going to be neurosurgery. I was going to be a neurosurgeon. I was going to be a neurologist. Psychiatry I didn't want to do for various reasons.
Yeah.
And then I stumbled upon otolaryngology and head and neck surgery, which is ENT, ear, nose, and throat, head and neck surgery. And for me, that was a good balance because it was complicated, intricate, really small structures in the face, dealing with facial and head and neck anatomy, and it was a good lifestyle. So, I had a wife and child by then. I had more practical considerations. I didn't want to be called in the middle of the night for people who are, had
Emergency,
subdural hematomas
right.
for, and that you had to do. In neurosurgery, the residency was so much longer. And so for me, it made sense. And then when I got into the head and neck surgery, we were doing major cancer reconstructions. We were taking people who had cancer of the head and neck. We would and that's the part that I liked the most. And so then I went and did another fellowship program in facial plastic surgery. Became a facial plastic surgeon from that because I just loved the anatomy. I loved that. And then cosmetic surgery grows out of that. So I can do cosmetic and reconstructive surgery. In the beginning of my practice, I did both.
Right.
I did facial trauma, reconstruction, and then I went to now I'm strictly cosmetic surgery. And cosmetic surgery, as much as there's a stigma around it, that stigma's kind of lightening now because
Yeah.
social media, everybody obviously, but there's still a kind of a taboo or
Yeah.
feeling like it's wrong,
Right.
or there's something wrong with it if you do, and that's the weird part of my profession because I could tell you for sure, there's a million people, who have the surgery for the right reasons, at the right time in the right place, and it changes their life.
Right.
It changes their life in a completely,
Sure. Confidence.
Confidence.
Is big. We're confident people. We
Yeah.
always have been, but there's a lot of introverted people
Right.
out there who want to be confident, and sometimes it is a appearance or something they don't like about
Right.
themselves.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what the topic of I wrote a book called "You're Not a Vanity
Yeah.
Purchase," right?
So
How plastic surgery is really not about vanity, and the book goes into all the different drives behind wanting to look good,
right.
and the sociological, the psychological, the financial. There's financial reasons why people want to appear, look good, right? I mean, so there's so much with human beings. We are, visual social beings, right?
Right.
So our communication with one another is intimately visual first,
Right.
right? It's not. There's so much like something like 95% of human communication is nonverbal. Somebody walks in, you're looking them up and down, you're assessing what they look like,
Yeah.
you're sizing them up. Your brain evolutionarily is designed to do that.
Right.
So you can't deny that we're visual and that we're assessing people and we're judging people on the way they look, and
Right.
that's the way that life is.
Yeah.
And if you want to deny that, you're basically denying humanity. Now, that's not to say that you should 24 hours a day be staring in a mirror and be worrying about every little blemish that's on your face and not live your
Oh, I'm
life.
getting a line here.
Right, or I'm getting a line
Jim,
here and obsess
I got
over.
a little line here. What
Yeah.
do I do?
Right. However,
How do I get rid
yeah.
of it?
But if there's something that's impeding your confidence,
Right.
that you wake up in the morning and every day look at it and you feel like, man, I just, that's something that's a hurdle that's going to keep me from getting to that next level.
Yeah.
And you can fix it in a way that's natural and just a way that's works, because all this, honestly, despite everybody being scared about this stuff, it's a little.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's scary. It's scary. The unknown is scary. And before I went into this field, I would say, you know what? Not for me. I would never do plastic surgery. But now, not knowing what I know and doing it every day for people, it's a lot less scary, obviously, for me.
Yeah.
And we bring that to our patients when we bring them in the office. I think we bridge that gap, make it not scary for people.
It's a great service you provide to people, because I see your social media. I see how you're not really showing off, but the way you do your social media is unlike any other plastics, and there's a lot of them out there on
Yeah.
social media.
Thank you,
You're
Joe.
more of educational.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the way you approach it is, like you said, this could help you and change your life if it's for you.
If it's for you.
It's not like you're trying to sell the creams, and I mean, you do all that. I see your website. I see you doing more and more of sales online.
Right.
And you have a beautiful office, but you're not pushing that all the time. It's really a way of getting just the message out to people that might need your services.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. I think that's honestly what makes me sleep well at night, because I'm there really at the end of the day. That person who started out as somebody who wants to help people is still there.
Right.
And it's always about the person first, and it's always about helping someone first, and the business is second.
Right.
A business obviously is important to us.
Of course, you gotta pay the bills.
You got to pay the bills, and you got to make a living, but never at the expense of that person who's in there for you. So we come forth, with honesty, with a real approach. I turn away as many patients as I'll operate on if it's not the right procedure for them, or if it's not going to get them what they want.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm there to make happy people. And make and you make happy people. I have something. I have a lot of business background and training too that I've done over the years as well, kind of building on my background. And like, we have something called the happy cycle, posted in my office. So, happy patients makes, a happy office makes happy employees, and the cycle goes round and round.
Yeah, I see you're always promoting your employees. You hired more staff. You have other doctors now.
Yeah.
Before it was just you.
Yeah.
Like myself, it was all me.
Yeah.
But you realize to grow a business, we had conversations about how do you hire people? How do you trust people? This is a business of trust.
It is.
And who do you bring in? I don't want to bring in the wrong people, mess up my business that I built.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time, and you're doing surgeries, you're running a business, and now you got to hire people.
Right.
So I know you have your wife works with you, and she's a big help. Which is
Yeah,
great.
for sure. My wife is a big help. And I think it's, but beyond that, now I've built, kind of a leadership team, that really handles the day-to-day stuff and takes a lot of that burden off of what used to be my day-to-day, you know. And
You're wearing all these hats.
yeah, you're wearing all these hats, and when
Yeah.
you exactly as you said, you realize at a certain point, to grow any business, you have to trust,
Yeah.
right? And trust means that you're going to have to be willing to make mistakes. You're going to hire the wrong people.
Right.
You're going to hire, and I've done that.
Yeah. We all
Before I
have.
had my current associate, I had two other associates. You're going to hire the wrong people. You're going to make mistakes.
Right.
In business, you have to have that courage to say, okay, the only way to grow is to trust, let go. Don't do the things I don't do well. Do the things that I do well. Like for me, what I do best is surgery, right? Focus as much as I can on surgery and give everything else to other people who are more talented in those areas, right?
That's good.
So that's
approach.
how you grow any business, right?
And so when you're not working, you're not doing surgeries, and you're not running a business, and your recreational sports. We love golf. We play golf. We love baseball. We love football.
Yeah.
What do you like to do for fun?
Golf constantly.
Yeah.
I've become a golf obsessed. All those years of sacrifice. I grew up around a golf course.
Right.
My dad was a great golfer, as you know.
Yeah.
And he put a golf club in my hand when I was little, and I used it, but
We really didn't.
we
didn't
didn't
pick up
play.
golf.
I mean,
It's a shame.
football, baseball,
Yeah.
the action sports. When
Right.
you were a kid, that
Golf
was more
boring. It was
golf
all
was
man.
boring.
Well, we'll play golf when we're old.
Right.
Well,
Here
we're
we are.
old.
We're old, and we can't wait to play golf
That's
again, right?
it.
So, but now
We love golf.
yeah, but now I'm trying to make up for lost
Yeah.
time and trying to get better and better, and I can't do anything like just for fun.
Right.
I gotta.
You're competitive.
I'm competitive.
Always was.
Yeah, trying to get better. So
That's it. We always had to be the best.
That's it. That's it.
And I see you travel a lot,
Yeah.
which is great with your family.
Yeah, every year we do a big trip.
amazing.
Try to go to Europe, do something because you realize the time is precious.
Time flies.
Time flies, right? We're at the stage. Our parents are getting older.
Sure. Enjoy every moment.
The kids are getting older. They're ready. Or they're in college or getting off to college, and
Yeah.
you know what?
It's a
Those
lot.
big trips, those family times to bond together. It's like it's
very
priceless.
It is.
Yeah.
It's priceless. Memories forever.
Yeah.
And
So you
now
can't work
kids
all
will-
the time. Take some time off.
Exactly. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see your personal self, the business, whatever you want to tell the audience?
Yeah.
What are your dreams?
Just continuing doing what I'm doing, but just on a bigger scale. Growing. Right now, we're looking at plans to expand. My current facility is like 6,100 square feet. We're going to double that size in the next next year. We're expanding the parking lot, doubling the amount of exam rooms. So the practice is going to blow up. I'm going to hire a few more physicians.
Nice.
Expand and then maybe do a couple locations after that. And then I think that'll be the pinnacle.
Nice.
That's it in terms of the business. And the dreams. I'm living the dream. My family's healthy. Everybody's healthy.
Thank God.
Knock wood for now. Everybody's good, and
That's all you
counting
can ask
my
for.
blessings. That's
Health
it.
is wealth.
That's it.
People don't realize without good health, obviously you stay in great shape. You're very health conscious. You're a doctor.
Yeah.
But you see so many people who just don't take care of themselves, especially our age. And
Yeah.
you really need to be proactive with your health.
You absolutely do. That's the key. And people ask me, how do you stay young? And the first thing is that kind of proactive approach to being, to your health.
Yeah.
And that includes preventative measures, things like, exercising at least 3 times a week or more, eating well, reasonably well, and doing everything in moderation, right?
Yeah. Still have a cheat day.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to change this to Scotch with Cosentino. I don't know.
See the scotch is up there.
Yeah, he was up there. He's tempting me. Well, but it's like
And the
11
cigar.
o'clock in the morning. We don't want you talking about us on.
Well, tell the audience, how can they, if they want to get in touch with you, what is the best way? How can they reach you? Social media, call your office, speak to just let us know if we are interested in a consultation.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, easy, MarottaMD.com. So MarottaMD.com is our website. Then on Instagram, Marotta Plastic Surgery. That's probably the easiest way.
All right,
Nobody
great.
uses the phone anymore, so you just
Pretty
look us
much.
up on the web.
It hardly rings.
Social media.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jim. It was great. It was great seeing you.
Thank you for having me.
Coming on. It was
Appreciate
a
it.
pleasure. And great continued success to you.
Thank you, bud.
Your family and everything.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coffee with Cosentino. We'll see you next time.